She said that she would dance with me if I brought her red roses, cried the young student. But in all my garden, there is not a single red rose. From her nest in the old oak tree, the nightingale heard him. She looked out through the leaves and wondered. No red rose in all my garden. The student said again, his beautiful eyes filled with tears. Ah, how little happiness depends upon. I have read everything that wise men have written. I know the secrets of philosophy. Yet because I cannot find one red rose, my life is miserable. Here at last is a true lover, said the nightingale. Night after night, I have sung of love, though I did not know him. Night after night, I have told his story to the stars. And now I see him. His hair is dark as the hyacinth blossom, and his lips are red as the rose he desires. But sorrow has made his face pale. The prince gives a ball tomorrow night, continued the student, and the girl I love will be there. If I bring her a red rose, she will dance with me until dawn. She will lean her head upon my shoulder, and I will hold her hand. But there is no red rose in my garden. So I shall sit alone, and she will pass me by. She will not notice me, and my heart will break. Surely he is a true lover, said the nightingale. What I sing of, he suffers. What brings joy to me brings sorrow to him. Love is a wonderful thing. It is more precious than emeralds and dearer than fine opals. Pearls and jewels cannot buy it, nor is it sold in the marketplace. The student buried his face in his hands and wept. A little green lizard ran past him. Why is he crying? Asked the lizard. Why indeed? Said a butterfly dancing in a beam of sunlight. Why indeed? Whispered a daisy to its neighbor. He is crying for a red rose, said the nightingale. For a red rose? They exclaimed. How ridiculous! But the nightingale understood the secret of the student's sorrow. She sat silently in the oak tree and thought about the mystery of love. Then she spread her brown wings and flew into the air. She passed over the garden like a shadow. In the center of the lawn stood a beautiful rose tree. The nightingale flew toward it and settled on one of its branches. Give me a red rose, she cried, and I will sing you my sweetest song. But the rose tree shook its head. My roses are white, it answered. They are as white as the foam of the sea, and whiter than the snow upon the mountain. Go to my brother who grows beside the old sundial. Perhaps he can give you what you seek. So the nightingale flew to the rose tree beside the sundial. Give me a red rose, she cried, and I will sing you my sweetest song. But the tree shook its head. My roses are yellow, it said. They are as yellow as the hair of the mermaid who sits upon an amber throne. They are more golden than the flowers that bloom before the farmer comes with his scythe. Go to my brother who grows beneath the student's window. Perhaps he can give you what you seek. The nightingale flew to the rose tree, growing beneath the student's window. Give me a red rose, she cried, and I will sing you my sweetest song. But the tree shook its head. My roses are red, it said. They are as red as the feet of the dove and redder than the coral fans in the deep sea. But the winter has frozen my branches. The frost has damaged my buds. The storm has broken my twigs. I shall have no roses this year. One red rose is all I ask, cried the nightingale. Only one red rose. Is there no way I can obtain it? There is a way, said the rose tree, but it is so terrible that I dare not tell you. Tell me, said the nightingale. I am not afraid. If you want a red rose, said the tree, you must create it from music by moonlight and color it with your own heart's blood. You must sing to me with your breast pressed against a thorn. All night long you must sing. The thorn must pierce your heart and your blood must flow into my veins. Death is a great price to pay for a red rose, said the nightingale. Life is precious to everyone. It is pleasant to sit in the green forest and watch the golden sun and the silver moon. The scent of flowers is sweet, and the hills are beautiful. Yet love is better than life. And what is the heart of a bird compared with the heart of a man? So the nightingale spread her wings and flew back to the old oak tree. She told the oak what she intended to do. The old tree was sad, for he loved the little nightingale who had built her nest among his branches. "Sing me one last song," he whispered. "I shall be lonely when you are gone." The nightingale sang for the oak tree. Her voice was like water flowing from a silver jar. When her song ended, she flew toward the student. He was still lying on the grass where she had left him. His tears had not yet dried. "Be happy," cried the nightingale. "You shall have your red rose. I will create it for you from music by moonlight and color it with my own heart's blood. All I ask is that you become a true lover, for love is wiser than philosophy and stronger than power." But the student could not understand her words. He only understood things written in books. The oak tree understood, however, and became very sad. The student looked up and listened. "She has form," he said, "but does she have feeling? I fear she is like many artists. She has style, but she lacks sincerity. She would not sacrifice herself for another." Then he returned to his room, opened a large book, and began to read. When the moon rose, the nightingale flew to the rose tree. She pressed her breast against the thorn. All night long she sang. The moon leaned down from the sky and listened. The thorn pressed against her heart. All night long, the nightingale sang of the birth of love in the hearts of a young man and a young woman. And on the highest branch of the rose tree, a beautiful rose began to bloom. Petal after petal appeared as song followed song. At first the rose was pale. It was silver like the morning mist. It was white like the wings of dawn. "Press closer, little nightingale," cried the rose tree, "or morning will come before the rose is finished." The nightingale pressed closer. The thorn touched her breast. A sharp pain passed through her. Louder and louder she sang. She sang of the beginning of passion in the hearts of two lovers. A delicate pink color appeared in the rose. It blushed like the face of a bride when she meets her bridegroom. But the heart of the rose remained white, for only the blood of a nightingale's heart could turn the heart of a rose red. "Press closer, little nightingale," cried the tree, "or morning will come before the rose is finished." The nightingale pressed still closer. The thorn entered her heart. A terrible pain passed through her body. The pain became sharper and sharper. Her song grew more beautiful. She sang of love that is made perfect by death. She sang of love that does not end in the grave. The rose became crimson. Crimson were its petals, and crimson was its heart. But the nightingale's voice grew weaker. Her little wings fluttered. A mist covered her eyes. Her song became faint. She felt something choking her throat. Then she gave one last burst of music. The white moon heard it and forgot the dawn. The red rose heard it and trembled with joy. The song echoed through the hills. "Look," cried the rose tree, "the rose is complete." But the nightingale did not answer. She lay dead in the grass, with the thorn in her heart. At noon, the student opened his window and looked outside. "What wonderful luck!" he cried. "Here is a red rose. I have never seen such a rose in all my life. It is so beautiful that it must have a long Latin name." He leaned out and picked it. Then he put on his hat and hurried to the professor's house, carrying the rose in his hand. The professor's daughter was sitting in the doorway. She was winding blue silk around a reel, and a little dog lay at her feet. "You said you would dance with me if I brought you a red rose," said the student. "Here is the reddest rose in the world. You shall wear it close to your heart, and as we dance together, it will tell you how much I love you." But the girl frowned. "I am afraid it will not match my dress," she said. "Besides, the Chamberlain's nephew has sent me real jewels." "Everyone knows that jewels cost far more than flowers." "You are very ungrateful," said the student angrily. He threw the rose into the street. It fell into the gutter, and a cartwheel crushed it. "Ungrateful?" said the girl. "I think you are very rude. And after all, who are you? Only a student. I do not believe you even own silver buckles for your shoes." She stood up and went inside. "What a foolish thing love is," said the student as he walked away. "It is not half as useful as logic. It proves nothing. It always speaks of things that may never happen and makes people believe things that are not true. In fact, it is quite impractical. And since practicality is important, I shall return to philosophy and study metaphysics." So he went back to his room. He took down a dusty book and began to read. And in the grass beneath his window lay the nightingale, silent forever. She had given her life for a love that was neither understood nor valued.